Hello, everybody, and welcome to another rendition of Delete Laws. What's going on out there in America? How is everybody today? Do me a favor, if everybody would hit the like button. Take your finger, slide down, hit the like button. It'll only take you a second. I'm going to teach you something today you didn't know yesterday. I give you my word. You're going to leave here and you're going to go, holy smokes, I did learn some stuff I didn't know yesterday. And then if you drop in the comment section for me, if you would, please, OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. OTVO, put it in the comment section. Don't you know? Don't you know? OTVO. So I want to show you guys the best podcast you've never heard of before. I should actually start with that. I should show this to you, and then I'm going to go into something different here. But this is a podcast that I've listened to a lot. And it's funny because you got to be a real nerd to like this guy here.
Hey,
So, A Teacher's History of the United States. Guy's got 104 subscribers. And let me just tell you something. I mean, I hate to open the like this, but I just want to get just right in this. I mean, this guy doesn't have any views, but if you go to his videos and go to his oldest video and you start at the Boston Tea Party, I wish Chris would put 1 through 45 up because I've already listened to every single one of his podcasts. This guy's information, Louisiana Purchase, Marbury versus Madison, Jefferson's America, Jefferson's second term. I mean, the amount of detail that Chris goes into, and here's the sad part, 8 views. You know, Chris, he's describes himself as a history geek, and he is a history geek. So if you're looking for the coolest dude in the world who isn't a geek, it's not Chris. But so if you don't know about the XYZ affair and the quasi war, if you don't know about the Sedition Acts, if you don't know about peace with France and the end of John Adams' presidency, if you don't know about the revolution of 1800, what this guy offers on this podcast is second to none. This guy is, I'm just telling you, each podcast is long. It's 30 minutes, an hour or so. So I can't sit and listen to each one of these with you, but I can drop the link for his channel here in the description. Listen, if you want to learn history and you don't mind just sitting there, listen to someone spit history. This guy, I have learned so much from him. Tell him Delete Laws sent you. There's the link to his channel. Please drop him a comment, a like, a subscription, and tell him that Delete Laws sent you. I don't usually come on when I first start this. It's all backwards right now. It's 2024. Everything's different, okay? Everything that was happening 2 days ago is no longer happening today. So, A Teacher's History of the United States, this guy, Chris, I'm sure that you'll probably see this because there's going to be hundreds of people that go to your YouTube page now. Chris, you are underappreciated. The work you did on A Teacher's History of the United States is absolutely amazing. I've kept it a secret for too long, and now everybody is going to know where I've learned so many things. You have to get over here, subscribe to this guy's channel, A Teacher's History of the United States. He's got 100 videos with 104 subscribers. So sad. And his information is second to none. I mean, the First Continental Congress, if you check, most of the likes are from me. So, and then there's Chris right there, and he's trying to get his thing going, but this is 5 years ago. Anyway, if you want to see a really great, if you want to get great historical lessons, then go here and watch this guy's video. Tell him Delete Laws sent you over there. I would love to do another project with Chris because he has so much information. What is going on? Everybody hit the like button if you would, please. And let's get into something. Let's talk about something that everybody's talking about.
Hey everyone, Chris
Not that.
A new law in 2024 will require all law enforcement to tell motorists why they're being stopped or pulled over. Officers will no longer be able to start a traffic stop by asking the question, "Do you know why I pulled you over?"
And let's talk about that a little bit. Plenty of California drivers who have been stopped have probably heard the officer say, "Do you know why I'm pulling you over?"
Under a new law, it goes into effect on Monday. That question no longer allowed. Our Mason Morrow explains.
Builds that community trust, we believe.
California Assembly Bill 2773, signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom in 2022, goes into effect on January 1st. All officers now required to reveal why they pull a driver over and report it to the state.
That's something that we've been training in our academy for years.
Sacramento police officer Anthony Gamble tells Fox 40 the academy teaches its new recruits to tell drivers which driving laws they violated. A Sacramento policing policy, he says, that dates back to 2005.
It just gives a little bit more legitimacy. It lets people understand kind of where you're coming from. And
So then that means it was illegitimate before to walk up to me and start to quiz me and ask me, "Do you know why I pulled you over? Do you know how long I've been following you?"
5.
It just gives a little bit more legitimacy. It lets people understand kind of where you're coming from and kind of
lets people understand where you're coming from. So that means that for decades and decades, you didn't let people know where you were coming from. When you approached them in their vehicle, you could walk up and play some sort of gotcha game. Whack-a-mole. Did you do this or did you do that? Do you think I pulled you over for the stop sign or for the speeding? There's no way to answer that question without incriminating yourself.
Why I'm stopping you and giving you an opportunity to maybe give an explanation as to why you committed that violation.
But in data collected by the Attorney General's office from 4.5 million traffic stops across the state this year, results show racial profiling exists in officer-initiated pullovers.
I mean, I just recently was pulled over.
All right, but okay, and listen, this is true, but let's stop the presses here, okay? It's a total police state for all of us. Every one of us is living in a total police state. All of us, every one of us, when we pass a cop hiding on the side of the road, we hit our brakes. It's happening to every single one of us. You can't drive down the road without worrying that the cops are going to pull you over. Put a 1 in the chat if that's true. In a lot of towns in America, and I'm saying the words towns and not cities, any place that's under population 10, 20, 30,000, that's considered a smaller town, you can't drive around at nighttime without the police pulling you over for no good reason. Put a 1 in the chat if that's true about your small town. I was raised on a peninsula. If you go out after 11 o'clock at night and you're driving and you pass a copper, that copper's going to pull you over.
Just the other day, and it was, the officer asked me, do you know why you're getting pulled over?
Numbers show Hispanic drivers are stopped more than anyone else out on the road, and multiracial and black drivers are pulled over at the highest rate, despite making up less than 14% of drivers. Analyzed data reveals black drivers' vehicles were searched 1.6 times more than white drivers, yet evidence of further crimes was discovered less often.
I think there's always
evidence of further crimes by the copper? Evidence of further crimes? Listen to the words. Listen to it again.
Straight, despite making up less than 14% of drivers.
So they're talking about racial demographics.
Analyzed data reveals black drivers' vehicles were searched 1.6 times more than white drivers.
1.6 times more than white drivers. Black vehicles are searched. Now, let me ask you a question, and this is a fair question. Is that because of education? Is that because the black drivers as a group have not been as educated as white drivers, don't follow a certain nomenclature, don't follow a set of policies, procedures, and protocols to make sure that they're not going to get shot or or detained, which is torture cuffed? Could that be part of it? When the cop says, do you mind if I search your car? How many black people say, sure, you can search my car, versus how many white people say, I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And then if you do decide that you want to give consent, you may be so educated that when the cop says, can I search your car? You go, sure, you can search my car. And he says, can you please step out of the car? And then as soon as you step out of the car, as soon as the pig goes to put his little hands in there, you say, I revoke consent. If I can give consent, I can revoke consent. I mean, just think about what he's saying here. Would that be you? Could that happen to you? Probably not. Not if you know how to deal with the copper. Your car is not going to be searched nearly as often if you know the exact steps and procedures. If you have put together a rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that you have disciplined yourself to learn and demand of yourself, you practice and you do when you're forced to be engaged with these jackboot thug pigs. Put it in the comment section. JBTP. Put it in the comment section. Jackboot thug pigs. When you're forced to deal with these jackboot thug pigs, have you determined for yourself, I'm going to follow a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols so that this jackboot thug pig can't arrest me? It's so bad. It's so bad. Here's how bad it is that cops are abusing the allure, the idea that they have some omniscient power over you to be able to make you do things. And they'll say, do you mind if I search your car? Well, if you have nothing to hide, why don't you let me search your car? And if you don't have the knowledge to be able to fight back against that, you may allow them to search your car because you didn't know any better. And that's what this video, some of the demographics in the video could reflect the lack of knowledge. It's not unfair to say, and this is statistically, that the black population has less education than the white and the Asian and the brown races and colors. That's just the way it is. So could part of these statistics be wrapped up in that there's a large portion of the black population that doesn't know their rights? It's not that provocative of a question.
Yet evidence of further crimes was discovered less often.
I think there's always loopholes.
Loopholes in traffic stops and in this new state law, according to Barry Axios.
This is just another law that's a gray area law.
The Sacramento area activist tells Fox 40 racially biased police officers will skirt around the new traffic law and get into drivers' cars if there's no deterrent.
Don't have a consequence that makes them say, okay, I'm being fined or I'm being penalized. I can't do this. Then what? I mean, it's your word versus my word. You want the community to kind of stand up and celebrate it as if, it'll change things. Will it really change things?
Thanks to Mason for that.
Well, so everybody's talking about this.
Also new tonight, a slew of new laws in California will go in effect in 4 days. One of them forcing law enforcement to tell you why you are being pulled over instead of them asking you first. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha explains why it was passed and why one community activist says it doesn't go far enough.
Do you know why I am pulling you over? A question many have heard during a traffic stop.
You automatically get anxiety.
Driver Nicole Ortiz says that questioning is redundant.
So I think they should tell you right off the bat, just to make things a little more cleaner and quicker.
The next time you are pulled over in 2024, California law enforcement will have to tell you why before questioning you.
I think it'd save a lot of aggravation.
So now here's the question I have. It's ubiquitous across the board. Whether you talk to the cop and the cop is giving the statement, or whether you talk to citizens and they're giving the statement, it's this ubiquitous open idea that, yeah, why can't the cop just tell you why you're pulled over? So that means it's 2023, January 2. It's taken us this many years to go, hey, you should have to tell people why they're pulled over. And we've all seen the game at the window. Tell me why I'm pulled over. No, first give me your ID. No, tell me why I'm pulled over. No, give me your ID. That game that ends up you go in torture cuffs, you go to the dungeon. But now, what are we hearing from every single person?
Before questioning you.
I think it'd save a lot of aggravation and misunderstanding.
Good morning. We're going to
save a lot of aggravation and misunderstanding. So this regular run-of-the-mill, I guess,
California
regular Joe white bread dude they put here,
law enforcement
which is
will
cool.
have to tell you why before questioning you.
I think it'd save a lot of aggravation.
Save a lot of aggravation. So that means that when the cops walked up to you in the last 200 years, well, let's see, the automobile, you're going to have Hendricks versus Maryland is going to be passed in 1915, which is going to create the Department of Motorized Vehicles in every different state in America. So Hendricks versus Maryland is the same reason why you have to get a driver's license. So if you've ever seen the videos where you're like, oh, I don't have to get a driver's license, that changed in 1915 with the case Hendricks versus Maryland. And what that did is empowered the states to create their own ordinances, regulations, codes based on how they're going to govern. And so now from 1915, 2023, let's go 108 years. For 108 years, cops have been walking up to the window and saying, hey, you know why I got you? You know why I'm here?
Misunderstanding.
Good morning. We're going to start the committee.
The law passed and signed in 2022 is going into effect on January 1st. Looks to put an end to vehicle and pedestrian stops where police can use a minor traffic violation and investigate other crimes, plus requires an officer to document the stop. Supporters of the bill say while racial profiling is prohibited in the state,
listen, you guys know I have taught for a very long time since I became known on TikTok in 2021 that the laws in our country are based on race. They're based on black people, on being able to limit black people, their First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. We created new amendments for black people, the 14th Amendment, 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, all created for black people. So we know that laws were literally created because you had to have 3 amendments at the 1964, 1965, 1968 Civil Rights Acts. All were created for black people. So we had to have laws created to counterbalance all the laws that were created against blacks. That's a fact. I've said it for how long? You can't say that that's not what I say. That's all I say. Now, here's where I start to draw a little bit of and tell me where you feel the exact same thing. And listen to what is said here. And I'm gonna stay with you. Listen to what's said here, and then tell me how you feel it.
First, looks to put an end to vehicle and pedestrian stops where police can use a minor traffic violation and investigate other crimes, plus requires an officer to document the stop. Supporters of the bill say while racial profile
Okay, so just right here, if this is you,
is going into effect on January 1st. Looks to put an end to vehicle and pedestrian stops where
put an end to the cops stopping you. And if you're light skinned and you don't have melanin and you're brown or you're Asian or you're white, the cops are stopping you for no good reason too, using the laws created for blacks called Terry versus Ohio.
Police can use a minor traffic violation and
a minor traffic violation against you, and you don't really notice that you're white or that you're Mexican or that you're Asian when the cop is stopping you for some minor petty ass crap and they're harassing you. Now, it might happen more to black people, but it's happening to all of us because the laws created for black people.
Investigate other crimes, plus requires an officer to
So they're trying to investigate other crimes against who? Against you. Now don't get me wrong. The laws were created for blacks. They still use them more on black people for sure. Yeah. But when it's happening to you, you really listen to this and you go, racial profiling, what are you talking about? I can't drive to 7-Eleven at 1 in the morning. If I drive to 7-Eleven at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll get Wren stopped. The 1996 case of Wren versus United States allows them to pretextually stop your car on some bogus, made-up traffic infraction that you did. Oh, you swerved a little bit. I saw you. You crossed over the fog line there. That's why I pulled you over. Pretextually stopping you. You can't leave your house at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're white. You're brown. You're Asian. You're mixed. You're mixed black and something else. It's all of us is what I'm trying to say. I'm not negating the reason why laws were created and that the black. Would you want to be black? You think you can't go to 7-Eleven at 1 o'clock in the morning now in your small town? Imagine being black and trying to go into 7-Eleven. They locked the door at the 7-Eleven. I laugh because it's horrendous, but I'm not lying, am I? Put a 1 in the chat if it's true.
Document the stop. Supporters of the bill say while racial profiling is prohibited in the state, it does sometimes occur. Bill author Assemblymember Chris Holden, during a hearing, says he hopes the law promotes equity and accountability in communities across the state.
I believe
so but listen to what he says. Then that means there was no equity and accountability before. If this creates equity and accountability, then there was no equity and accountability before. If it's this big of a deal, why wasn't it done before? If everybody knows it, everybody's like, man, yeah, finally, it's about damn time. And it's across the spectrum, from the pigs to the regular people.
Occur. Bill author Assemblymember Chris Holden, during a hearing, says he hopes the law promotes equity and accountability in communities across the state.
Politicians and pigs and regular drivers and short, tall, ugly, skinny, black, white, Puerto Rican, Filipino. Everybody's like, yeah, thank God this is finally done. Why wasn't, if it's been a splinter in our foot for decades and decades, why was it just addressed? Why can't we address other things now?
that the confrontation between law enforcement and the public begins because people of color are being asked to surrender their civil rights and don't even know.
So put a 1 in the chat if you're not a person of color and your civil rights are being asked to be are being stripped from you. I mean, listen, I'm Latino. I'm not black. So I'm off. I'm kind of off. I mean, you know, look, I look like a Scott Johnson. I could be a Scott Johnson. I know what color I look. All right. And for my black brothers and sisters, I know the laws were created for you. I know it. And I know they target you more. I know. Trust me. If anybody knows, I do know. I've shown these statistics on a wall. It's on my poster. So, however, it is happening to all of us, every one of us, every single Native American person in here is saying it's happening to all of us. My black brothers and sisters and my Puerto Ricans and my Latinos and all my Filipinos and Asians, all of us, we have to come together and realize they're trying to keep us divided by race and by political party. Oh, you don't support Trump? Oh, you support Trump? Don't let them do it. It's happening to all of us. Don't be fooled.
Know why they're being stopped, but they are forced to comply.
The law does make an exception for an officer to hold the reason for a stop if it is necessary to protect life or property from imminent threat.
I'm sorry.
Forced to comply.
The law does make an exception for an officer to hold the reason for a stop if it is necessary to protect life or property from imminent threat.
Hold on. You don't get to know why you're... Give me a scenario in the comment section. Tell me a scenario. I'm a copper. I pull you over, and there's a new law. You know the new law. You're Johnny on the spot, ready with your trifold and your camera, and that pig walks up to you in California and walks up and he goes, "Hey, where are you heading?" And you go, "I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, but Piggy, Piggy's supposed to tell me why he pulled me over. California new law says Piggy's supposed to tell me why he pulled me over, right? Give me a scenario where the Piggy needs to keep it a secret from you to preserve somebody's life. I'm just wrap you know what that is? That's officer safety. I didn't tell him for officer safety.
Forced to comply.
The law does make an exception for
an exception why you can't be told why you're pulled over.
Officer to hold the reason for a stop.
Hold the reason. I'm not going to tell you the reason why you're pulled over, because why?
If it is necessary to protect life.
I'm protecting someone's life by not telling you the reason why you're pulled over. Oh, that now I've heard some stuff, but that is rich. I mean, that is, whoa. You got to be freaking joshing me, man.
Exception for an officer to hold the reason for a stop if it is necessary to protect life or property from imminent threat.
Or property. I'm going to pull you over and not tell you the reason why to protect James Forbes' property. Am I hearing that right? Is that right? I mean, what the flock? What are we talking about here?
Just recently, in Davis, I got pulled over by Davis PD.
Community activist Barry Axius.
So if you look like this and I meet you in real life, I probably have given you a trifold, because I do know how much they target large black men. I know that for a fact. That's a fact.
Allegedly,
it's horrible.
Not making a proper stop at the stop sign.
Right. So Wren stopped him. 1996, Wren versus United States. He stopped him on a pretextual stop based on him not.
Axius.
Allegedly not making a proper stop at the stop sign.
Okay, that's only possible because of Wren versus United States. And then he begins his Terry investigation once he pulls him over. Terry versus United States, 1968.
Says this law creates
Terry versus Ohio, forgive me.
A small dent. It is far from making a huge ripple effect.
Tiny step to the right direction, but what's the direction? Because there's too many gray areas. How am I going to be able to dispute that this officer was pulling me over illegally?
And what's the answer, Team DLZ? What's the answer? There's only one answer. Tell me what it is.
Direction, but what's the direction? Because there's too many gray areas. How am I going to be able to dispute that this officer was pulling me over illegally?
Axius says,
okay, so there's two things there. So what's the first answer? What's the first answer? How are you going to be able to prove the cop pulled you over illegally? Dash cam. Tom, you got it right. Tom, shoot me an email. I'm going to give you a free trifold. Tom, shoot me an email. You get a free trifold, brother. Okay, so there's the first problem that this activist pinpointed. Where's the second problem and the biggest problem? So if you are able to establish that the cop was acting like a jackboot thug pig with you, then what's the second biggest problem? What's the second biggest problem? So the first one is a camera. Tom, free trifold for you, bro. Hit me up, Tom. I'm going to send you a free trifold. What's the biggest problem after that? Number one, you have to be able to establish that your rights were violated, that a cop is acting outside of his policies and procedures. What is it? It's that there's no third party to turn the damn cop into. There's no third party. There's nobody to investigate that cop outside of other cops. That is our biggest problem. There's no third party to investigate the bad pig.
As there is still going to be bias when people are pulled over, and there needs to be specific laws. Sacramento area law enforcement agencies have said they have already implemented this law into their academies.
And that was our Garshpal Sangha reporting. The California State Sheriff's Association, during one of the hearings, called this law strict, adding it cannot ask a person a question or make a request prior to releasing the reason for the stop. Hundreds of other laws were passed by Governor Newsom. We have a list on our website.
Hundreds of other laws were passed by Governor Newsom. And by the way, don't let Newsom fool you. I've lived in California for near 25 years. And Newsom Newsom has let California fall to absolute dog-ish. Don't let his I watched him kick the shit at DeSantis in a debate. I mean, Newsom is very good. His aunt is Dianne Feinstein. That's his aunt. So, chair, I think she's head of the finance committee. Yeah. So don't let Newsom fool you. The only thing he's doing is, that's a whole different discussion, but Newsom's a scumbag. Don't trust him.
That's right. Reactions are pouring in right now for these new laws taking place right here in San Diego. One of them, if you're in your 70s and you're a driver, you don't need to go to the DMV to renew your license. You can actually take the vision and written test remotely at home. And this is something that people have some pretty passionate opinions about.
If you want to drive, you should be able to come and kind of wait in line.
And it definitely lessen, the wait in the waiting rooms.
Maybe a line for the elderly. But the DMV will still require drivers 80 and over to renew in person. Another law now in place, law enforcement who pulls you over won't be able to start the traffic stop by asking the question, do you know why I pulled you over?
I mean, isn't it funny that everybody here, put a 1 in the chat if you've been pulled over before and you've heard the cops say to you, do you know why I pulled you over? Put a 1 in the chat if that has happened to you before. No bootlicking. There will be no bootlicking around here, folks. You can take your candy ass and get the flock out of here. You guys let me know if there's a bootlicker in our midst, okay? Because you're free to do what you want. You're still free to watch the broadcast. Tell you what, that bootlicker. But you ain't welcome to be commenting your bootlicking comments in the comment section. We will boot your bootlicking ass right on out of here, partner. So if you got any bootlickers in here, you guys point that bad chicken out. I will kick his butt right out. Get the flock out, and don't you never come back. Don't you never come back here, you bootlicking booty licker. You're a pig. You're a pig licker. You're a pig sucker. You are a pig sucker. So we've all heard that. Do you know why I pulled you over? I specifically designed the trifold and the 5A cop cards so that you would answer the question with Fifth Amendment, I invoke the right to remain silent. I made this for that question. So I would love it if we no longer needed the trifold, but oh, wait a minute. Does that mean that just because he doesn't ask you, do you know why I pulled you over, that he's not going to ask you other questions like, where are you coming from? Where are you going? Where have you been? Have you been drinking? You got any firearms in the car? Hey, you mind taking a test for me? You mind if I just search you real fast? Hey, is this address on your driver's license the same as your actual address? Hey, can I get your cell phone number? All those questions he may still ask you. And the only way that you can stop him from asking you questions is to say the words, Fifth Amendment, I invoke the right to remain silent. That's the only way you can stop the questioning. You cannot say, I don't answer questions. You cannot say anything other than I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. You have to say those exact words, and that is by Supreme Court holding. That's by Supreme Court holding. There it is right there. I'm not making this stuff up. 2013. Let me just get right to it because I've read it so many times. By ideology, the conservatives. Once again, everybody's like, oh, conservative. No. These people over here on the right at the Supreme Court level screw us over. Now, these do too on the left, but the ones on the right create the police state, prison state, death state. Alito's the biggest cop sucker there is on the planet. He's got a, I was going to say something. I'm not going to say anything. He's a cop sucker. I'm going to try to keep it PG here. Okay. Justice Kennedy concluded that the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination does not extend to defendants who simply remain mute during questioning. You can't just sit there and be quiet. You have to say the words. Long-standing judicial precedence has set that any witness who desires protection against self-incrimination must explicitly claim that protection aloud. You have to say the exact words. I invoke the Fifth Amendment to remain silent. You have to say the words. And now finally, let me finish my thought. So now finally, in the year 2023, with a tiny bit of tutoring and your discipline to follow a rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols, plus the most, in my opinion, the biggest game-changing invention in modern history, the camera phone. Your rights plus the camera phone and your cognitive ability to be able to follow your policies, procedures, and protocols to make sure you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. The guy says anything else, you have memorized all the other cases in the trifold. Whether he says he smells something, whether he says he wants you to get out of the car, no matter what he says, it's all in that trifold. And you memorized it. And this bad chicken right here is the absolute equalizer. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Because for the love of God, I don't want to cover your video. But I just want you to see, though, that the people who we all say, oh, the Supreme Court said, they're not so great, are they? They're not so great. They're a bunch of dog shit on a stick, if you ask me.
Good morning. That's right. Reactions are pouring in. Any questions? Another law enforcement will no longer be able to use expired vehicle registration as the only reason for pulling you over.
Whoa, that's huge. That is absolutely.
To use expired vehicles. Another law enforcement will no longer be able to use expired vehicle registration as the only reason for pulling you over.
Wow. Can you imagine that? They could actually just mail the car owner a ticket and say, if this car is no longer in your ownership, then you have to get it off your pink slip, or option B, you have to get your registration fixed. I don't love the registration thing. What I don't love more, though, is I don't love you getting pulled over for not having registration. And then I cover the video that you died in, that you're dead in. And I'm sitting here on YouTube in front of thousands of people crying because you're dead. Because you didn't follow a rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that I teach, that I give away. Oh my God, just so you guys know, the Christmas batch just sent out 200 envelopes. Hoodies. We don't stop hoodies. These, I got double XL, XL, and triple XL still in. I shipped off so many of these today. You have no idea. I shipped off so many trifolds and Fifth Amendment cop cards. You have no idea. I sent off so many of these. I lowered the price of these down to $10, and now people are buying like sets of 3, 4, 5 to give to their friends, because, you just don't want to die, right? Like, I'm really working on something other than just videos. I'm working on something. I've been working on something for a long time, and what I have more than other people is I have patience. And I will wait, and I will continue to work diligently until what I have to share is ready to shine. And right now it's not there yet. And I had to move, and I had to do all this stuff. So I had to, the stuff I had to do. So, but what I find interesting, they've always been able to just mail you a ticket for not having registration. They've always been able to mail you a ticket. How come we didn't do this before? And then saved the whole guys with guns pulling you over and saying, your tags are out. That's a traffic infraction. American patriot. Oh my God. It's just so absurd that we're finally
before asking any questions. Another law enforcement will no longer be able to use expired vehicle registration as the only reason for pulling you over unless it's over 2 months. And officers will first have to verify with the DMV that a vehicle's registration is actually expired longer than 6 months before having it towed. And while not in San Diego yet, cities like LA and Long Beach, as well as San Francisco County, will launch a 5-year speed camera pilot program to monitor and enforce speeding on local roadways.
See, this is where I disagree fundamentally. We should not have Big Brother taking videos of us. It's just incredible. I mean, you should only use cameras to uphold the rights of others. And if you drive like a moron and the cameras catch you and you hurt somebody, then you should be held accountable. It's just they want to control everything.
Fines would be
What if you have to get somewhere from point A to point B and there's no one on the road?
based on how fast you're going. And so back out here live, if you are hitting the road starting, yesterday, these will be in place. So if you get pulled over or if you're speeding, these are some good things to know. And if you have any more,
Did you hear what she said? Californians?
yesterday, these will be in roadways. And the fines would be based on how fast you're going.
You're going to get fines from cameras.
And so back out here live.
This is going to end up in court. It's not going to be able to work. I mean, don't ever pay that fine because they can't prove it was you driving.
If you are,
it's not like it's an ownership of a car like a registration. It's someone could be driving your car. Don't ever pay that ticket. Fight it with all you are.
Hitting the road starting, yesterday, these will be in place. So if you get pulled over or if you're speeding, these are some good things to know. And if you have any more questions about these laws or any other new laws that are taking place in the new year, you can check out CBS8.com. All right, back to you in the studio.
You can check out CBS8.com if you want to know more from them.
Tonight, we start with traffic laws coming January 1st, from speed cameras to what an officer can ask you and cannot ask you during a traffic stop. CBS 8's Richard Allen breaks them down with reaction from local drivers.
Well, that's right. One of those new laws starting in the new year, drivers in their 70s will no longer have to come in person here to the DMV to renew their licenses, and instead will be able.
Interesting, right? Where do you stand on that? Are you for that or against it? Are you for that? You think that seniors should be able to stay home and not do it? Or do you think that seniors over 70 should have to go in? Go in or stay home? What do you think?
Able to take their written and vision tests remotely. It's a move, though, that is driving some passionate opinions.
If you want to drive, you should be able to come and kind of wait in line.
And it definitely lessen, the wait in the waiting rooms.
Maybe a line for the elderly.
This driver, whose nearly 90-year-old grandpa just renewed his license, thinks it's crucial that older drivers come in person. She's glad the DMV will still require drivers 80 and over to renew in person.
Just to ensure safety here.
Also coming in 2024, law enforcement who pulls you over will not be able to start the traffic stop by asking, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Instead, they'll have to provide the reason for the stop before asking any questions.
Sometimes when you get pulled over and you don't think you did anything wrong, you still come up with things that you could have done wrong. So it's kind of self-incriminating.
I think it just takes.
Listen to all these people weighing in.
Any sort of vagueness out of the whole situation seems like the right thing to do rather than me copping to something. It's like, well, you tell me what you pulled me over for.
So everybody has felt this way the whole time, but yet we've just allowed pigs to do this.
Also beginning January 1st, law enforcement will no longer be able to use expired vehicle registration as the sole reason for pulling you over unless it's over 2 months. And officers.
Unless it's over 2 months. Well, then that's not much of a law, is it? That's pretty ridiculous, isn't it? So let me explain the actuality of that. Okay. So if I have a 67 Chevy that I like to work on, I may not have that car registered. It's in my garage. I crank wrenches on it 2 days a week. If I can get some time on Sunday, I'll get in there. But my 67 Chevy, I want to be able to drive from here and drive it over to my dad's house so he can work on it with me over there. I'm not driving the car around, but I want be able to get from point A to point B without getting pulled over for not having a registration. So that law doesn't do anything to alleviate the state. It doesn't do anything to alleviate my property ownership of my car that I want to be able to travel in from point A to point B, even if that's not my everyday functioning car. It doesn't create a legal allotment for me to be able to travel in a car that I don't drive all the time. I don't want to register it. I don't want to have to pass a smog test. I don't think it will. So the law is the new law created is so that 2 months, by the time 2 months, it's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. It's a waste of paper. Very few people are going to be able to take advantage of this new law.
January 1st, law enforcement will no longer be able to use expired vehicle registration as the sole reason for pulling you over unless it's over 2 months.
Right, but that doesn't really help you and be able to keep your property without having to constantly register it with the state. That's
And officers will first have to verify with the DMV that a vehicle's registration is actually expired longer than 6 months before having it towed. And while not in San Diego yet, cities like LA and Long Beach, as well as San Francisco County, will launch a 5-year speed camera pilot program to monitor and enforce speeding on local roadways.
Put a 1 in the chat if you totally disagree with that. Put a 1 in the chat if you totally disagree with that. They're setting up Big Brother where they're going to have eyes on us at all times and we don't get access to those cameras. That's what they're doing.
Fines would be based on how fast you were going.
It could be a gift and a curse. I am not sure.
If it starts where like everybody's getting tickets now for going even 1 mile or 2 miles over, I think that it kind of sucks.
I'm definitely not into that one. I like the old-fashioned way. You actually catch me in the act rather than a little camera.
And for more information on these laws, as well as many other laws that will be hitting...
I mean, that's just preposterously ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
Hey everyone, Chris.
So I want to go back to the reason why so he let him know that that we came by. This is a teacher's history of the United States. This guy Chris. He drops some serious knowledge. He's not the best speaker in the world, and he's a history geek, as he openly will admit. So, but his information right here in his podcast is so good. It is so good.
Here, thanks for checking out the podcast. If you're enjoying it and learning from / a teacher's history, or you could lead along with Chris at a.
So the beginning, the first 30 seconds was one of his critical errors. He just tries to get you to join and do all these things when he hasn't offered his value first. So you have to get past that. And a lot of people don't get past that pitch. They just don't. You have 5 seconds to win over an audience. And if you don't, they're gone. And so I think that was one of the downfalls of his podcast, was that he did this first 30 seconds where you saw me fast forward through it.
Me again.
All that was too long. It was a minute long and there was nothing. Just nothing there.
Today. Did you know that following the writing and publishing of the Constitution, ratification wasn't so easy? It was an incredible struggle that took well over a year for all 13 states to get on board. And at times it looked like it might not actually happen. That there were two groups, the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist, who wrote pamphlets and letters arguing for or against ratification, often using pseudonyms to hide their true identity. And arguably the most important and impactful debate in American history, Lincoln and Douglas, actually happened in 1788 in Virginia between the two heavyweights, Patrick Henry and James Madison. Did you know all of this? Maybe, maybe not. Get your notebooks out because today we'll cover that and more in episode 79, Ratification.
So just so you know, I've listened to every single one of his podcasts. he has
Federalist, first the anti-invocation of the Pauline Mission, 1787 to 1788. I've actually recommended that I was eventually. So last week we wrapped up our 3-episode series on the Constitutional Convention. I had a blast chatting with Greg Jackson from the History of the Doesn't Fuck podcast, and be sure to check out really find the states to ratify this Constitution. Out of the 13 states represented in the document, and
so you see, there's a lot of the first 5 minutes is Chris kind of rambling and chattering about, subscribe to my Patreon, talks about some house cleaning affairs and stuff in the first 5 minutes. But if you don't have like a deep love for history where you just want someone to teach you history, then you won't like it. But if you get past that first 5 minutes of Chris rambling, then after that, this guy's information in A Teacher's History of the United States, it is absolutely fantastic. It is fantastic. And I highly recommend it. I've listened to every single one of his episodes. I'm one of the like 8 or 9 people who's listened to what this guy's done as far as his work is done. And so, I think that's what we all want to find, right? We all want to find like this golden nugget in the rough. A diamond in the rough is the saying, I think it is, right? So we all want to find a diamond in the rough. If you go over and you start at the very beginning episode and you let every single episode of A Teacher's History of the United States play out, you're going to be like, Chille, I can't believe you actually did find a diamond in the rough and you showed it to us. I showed it to you. This guy's podcast is so informative. You will learn so much. I really wish. So just so you know, I originally found him on Apple Podcast. And I listened to from episode 1 to episode 160 or 2 something. I can't remember where it ends, but I listened to all of them when I was driving across the country in 2022. And I learned so much information from this guy. There's a project that I would like to work with Chris on. This guy's such a good teacher. It's unbelievable. So then one day on Apple, on the Apple podcast, his podcast just disappeared, came off the Apple store. And I was like, where'd it go? So then I found him on YouTube, but it's missing the first 39 chapters. I'd like him to put the first 39 chapters back up there on, because it was really, really good. I mean, really good. Let's go back to the theme of so get over here and subscribe to this guy's channel. Tell him Delete Laws sent you.
Well, now a look ahead to 2024 and new laws that will impact many of your lives. The first is about a question. Police officers can no longer ask people they pull over on California roads. Potentially millions of California drivers have been asked by police, do you know why I pulled you over?
It's a fishing expedition, and everybody knows it.
Beginning with the new year, they cannot start the interaction with that question. Instead, they must state the purpose of the traffic stop before asking any other questions.
So does that change the process that I teach you, though? Not really. I think the process that we do doesn't change at all. I still think you have your license, insurance, proof of ID, registration. I still think you have everything up in the visor. And he says, I'm pulling you over for California code 281861. And then I think from there, you still just give him your license, registration, proof of insurance. And then he says, so where are you heading? So it only stops the first question. It doesn't stop the next, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th question. It doesn't stop. Can I search your car? Do you have any chemicals in the car? Is there any Mary Jane? Can I look at, have you been smoking Mary Jane? Have you been drinking any alcohol? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Where you been? Where do you live around here? Oh, do you live over there in that part of town? Doesn't change any of those things. Doesn't change. Is the address on your driver's license the same as the address you live at today? It doesn't change any of those things. The only thing that changes those things is invoking your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. So the California law doesn't change what you and I do. Right, Javro? April, Lenny, you hear what I'm saying to you? It doesn't change what we do, Mountain Mover. We still do the same thing. And just so you guys have seen it, I have the exact same thing. I built this, just so you know. Here's the funny thing. Ready for this? I built this before I ever showed it to you guys. I've had one of these for years because I don't want to be caught off guard when I get pulled over by a pig. Do you want to be caught off guard? You're driving down the road. Pig pulls up behind you. You don't know your license, your registration, your proof of insurance is. And then we talked about this yesterday. So there's still, almost 300 people in the room here. So put a 1 in the chat if you are not going to be as slick as you think you're going to be when there's a jackboot thug pig standing over you who has been trained to dominate you, to talk down to you, to be mean to you. You may not be as rico suave as you may think that you're going to be. Is that a fair thing to say? Is that a fair assessment? Put a 1 in the chat if you don't think that maybe you, or maybe your partner, your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, just they think that they're going to be slick because they watched Elite Laws and they got the trifold, but they may not be quite as slick as they think they're going to be once they're up in the face of that cop. And listen, you guys have seen cops who come at me and are yelling at me and are on the verge of attacking me. You guys have seen it. That Sergeant Martinez, when I caught him trying to just manhandle this guy on the road and I was filming him and I came up, he came over to the rock I was filming behind and was screaming in my face to put the camera down and to walk away. And let me tell you that is not an easy position to be in. That is not an easy position to be in. You guys saw I have sweatshirts, hoodies for y'all. And then we don't stop. We don't stop, Playboys, right? So I got hoodies for y'all. And on my hoodie, it says Constitutional Law Scholar. And the reason mine says Constitutional Law Scholar is because I'm going to wear it when I'm out driving around. And if I happen to jump out of the car because I see a cop has someone pulled over, it says Constitutional Law Scholar right on the front of my shirt. And then, of course, what am I going to do, being the constitutional law scholar that I am? The moment I interact with that cop, I'm going to say, I invoke my First Amendment right. I will be filming this interaction. Now, my First Amendment right's been invoked. That jackboot thug pig can't arrest me and say, oh, I have qualified immunity because the clearly established prong. He won't be able to say that because I said on camera, I invoke my First Amendment right. There's an absolute reason why I do every single thing that I do. There's touchdown position, but that's if you get pulled over. But if you're going to go at the cops, start to talk like a cop here, the cops are I just need you to go stand over there behind that wall over there. If you go stand over there, that'd be great. Jackboot thug pigs. Jackboot thug pigs. It is absolutely amazing to me that we live in this system and that this is what we have to do and that this is like the topic of conversation. And for the empaths, for people who are empathic, that feel the pain of others and it affects them and they cry and they feel deeply. And also an empath doesn't want that to happen to them. Self-preservation. If I see that happen to you, that could happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me, so I'll stand up for you so that doesn't happen to me. So you're thinking about yourself, but at the same time, you're standing up for somebody else who that did happen to. It may not have happened to you, but you're standing up for them because deep down, you don't want that to happen to you and no one come to your defense. And so we have to have this system where for the empaths, where we feel the pain of what cops do to people, that when you see on video after video after video that it's not a few bad apples, that it is cop after cop after cop after cop who he may not have beat him or held him down, but he held him down while the guy tased him. He may not have stomped his head in, but he was holding down his left shoulder and he got stomped in his left ear. I mean, literally, the guy holding him right here as the other guy stomps his head in. What about the guy holding the shoulder? And so as an empath, when I see you do that to another person, I have created a term for you that's on most of my videos. JBTP, Jack, Boot, Thug, Pig. Sorry, that's just a simple fact. Jack, Boot, Thug, Pig. You can't hold a guy's shoulder down. He stomps the guy's head. So you guys know that I can't show the video. I can't show the video. What can I show? Indiana cop fired and charged for stomping. I can't show the video of black man. I know. Okay, here it is. Okay, there it is. Okay, here, let me do it like this so that I mean, all of my streams are demonetized, but let me just try to make it so. So this says former Indianapolis pig pleads guilty in stomping incident. In a stomping incident? Is that what it was? When that copper, is that what he stomped? It was an incident. You mean where he stomped on a guy's head who was powerless against two men that they were standing over him? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? Love you, Amy Kelly. Good to see you. Good to see you. Former Indianapolis pig pleads guilty to stomping a man's head in. A former Indianapolis sergeant on Monday pled guilty to a civil rights charge for stomping a guy's head in who had been arrested and was restrained. He was already in torture cuffs, and he stomped his head in. I mean, I'm just saying. You know, I get on here and people say to me well, it depends on who you are. I hear all kinds of things. But until I have created an army of people who are just like me, who literally run around saying, hey, do you have a Fifth Amendment cop card in your wallet? Why don't you? You only pull out the yellow and black card when you have to deal with cops. So as soon as you see a cop and you think, oh, shoot, I got to deal with a cop, yellow and black card comes out. And you follow the 1 through 6 steps on it. Until there's an army of people just like me, I'm not done yet. I'm just getting warmed up. We just started. I'm new. I'm a new personality on social media. We just got going. This has just begun. This is just the buildup. We don't stop. We don't stop. You have to teach your friends and family the cops are not their friend. You have to teach your friends and family that the police will betray them, will lie to them, will deceive them, will cheat them, will separate people and pretend like they're being nice to you. They're trying to get you to say any piece of information about the other person so that they can say that those pieces of information don't match, which gives them reasonable articulable suspicion. From there, with reasonable articulable suspicion, you will be placed in torture cuffs. You're not being arrested. You're only being detained. Get on your knees. And that's the system that we've allowed to be perpetuated before us. And that's why there's this strong group of people here. Live stream body-worn cameras, Richard. I mean, I'm down with that, Richard. Thanks for being a member. I appreciate it. But that's why there's so many people who come by this channel. And I realized something. I was thinking about this. I'm not better. I may never be better. I may never be okay. Well, I guess it's true because I continue to relive it over and over and over again. But I'm not okay with how the cops in this country treated me. I'm not all right with it. And that's what made me the way that I am. And because I'm rightfully indignant doesn't make me a felon, doesn't make me a child predator, doesn't make me a terrorist. It makes me rightfully indignant for the way that these jackboot thug pigs in this country treated me, for the way they kicked down my door, for the way they treated me when they pulled me over, for the way they talked to my cousin, for the way they arrested my brother, for everything that they've done is the reason why I am the way I am. Don't blame me. Blame the policies, procedures, and protocols that you have allowed to perpetuate in your community, that we have allowed through legislators to create laws that give literally even the body cameras to the cops. Your rights were given to the cops through legislation, and if the cops couldn't get them through legislation, the Supreme Court of this United States gave the cops your rights in the name of officer safety. There's a reason why I am the way I am. There's a reason why so many people come. YouTube has the channel so shadow banned you can't even imagine. I'll show you the statistics. It's all going to come out. Someday I'm going to get to discovery with YouTube. Someday. You'll see. Just like the Twitter files, you'll see. They put a filter right over your account. They put a filter right over your account. When any video I get gets to 10, 20, 30,000 views, they demonetize it and then they put it in the cellar. It's the people who come here, the 5 or 10,000 people who come here. I understand what they did to you. I understand what happened to you. I understand why you can't stand this system and why you may not only dislike cops, but why you may hate them. I understand how you feel. April, 3rd month. Is that how long you've been around now, April? Yeah, pretty lady April came around 3 months ago. April's been on Team DLZ for about this last quarter of 2023, and now we're starting 2024. April, welcome. You are a breath of fresh air, and everybody on the team loves you. It's been great. It's been great getting to know you and you being here. Gloria, I need you to send me your mailing address. I'm going to give you a Christmas present, Gloria. Gloria, I'm going to give you a Christmas present. Douche, you right there, Gloria. I'm going to give you a Christmas present. So, I sent off 100+ packages today. There's going to be another 100 or so tomorrow. There was a little gap between right after Christmas. We got one more delivery out around the 27th, 28th, and then we just shipped again today. So there's like a 5-day gap where my assistant was gone, and it's a lot to do. So, but we shipped out about 100 today, and we ship out about another 100 tomorrow. What's up, Playboy? What is going on? What is going on? All rights reserved. Yeah, it's a very strange thing that we all kind of have been forced to create this group, right? I mean, isn't that what happened? You were kind of forced, and then the scamdemic that came over from China, it kind of created more of an online community of people where you could kind of start to get both your social and your mental fix, and the social part of it. I was talking to someone earlier today before I came on here to talk with y'all. And I said, it's not that I was talking to my assistant who was here doing the packages. I said, it's not that I'm some, this person. I said, the reason why there's 200-300 people that come and hang out on the lives is because they're their own community. I'm just there talking and they're listening, and they agree because they're empaths and they've been treated poorly and abused by the pigs, and they call them jackboot thug pigs. That's why, JBTP, you can say jackboot thug pig instead of saying pig. And everybody who knows JBTP knows JBTP. So it's a community that has been formed around what has happened to us and what has made all of us this cohesive group of people that you start to care about the other person just by seeing their name and their icon on a screen enough times. You know what I mean? So come on, fuck with. I'm sifting through over here. Let me show you guys what I'm taking a look at real fast so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Gloria, what is going on, Gloria? How are you, dear? So good to see you. Send me your mailing address, Gloria.
Have an attitude of
I watch that McDojo sometimes. History memes. I mean, you got to be a real history geek to guess the atrocity. We committed war crimes in the past. Let me see. The tribe, what is going on, my friends? All rights reserved, what is going on? Nothing changes until we overturn Terry versus Ohio. That's a fact. It's horrible, but it's true. And then this says, we committed war crimes in the past. We admit this happened. We will try to make sure this never happens again. It never actually happened. The Nazis did it. German bullets. They were all fascist anyway. The Russian archives are capitalist lies. You know, I'll watch.
One nation controlled by the media. Information ain't Travis says.
Man, he was so spot on. All the information's controlled. Listen to the words. You want to be an American idiot.
One nation controlled by the media.
One nation controlled by the media. And I think that's what we are here. We are a group of people who said, I'm not going to sit. I mean, how many hours have we listened to the mainstream media lies? How many hours? You know, we used to remember the talking heads on MSNBC and CNN and Fox and the ones that we used to watch. I go by there to see what they're lying about. I scroll by MSNBC and Fox Lies and Communist News Network. I scroll by all of their headlines. I read all of their headlines, see what the lies are. And then I go, okay, so what are they really doing here? What's the bullshit lies they're sending us? Or how they'll tell us that we have to go to war, or that we just are going to give one more aid package to Ukraine. It's some ridiculous amount of money that we're just spending on war, and we're not investing in anything for the people here. It just drives me but we don't watch that stuff anymore.
Information ain't Travis says.
Information what? What are the rest of those words right there he says? What are those? What are the information what? Anybody a super Green Day fan that knows what he says? He says information what? So what do you guys think about this? I'm going to open a website called Team DLZ that you can join, but I'm thinking about a place where we can all get together on teamdlz.com. I already own the domain name, and where we can get together and plan things together and try to have create more actual in real life togetherness. So that was my plan. I'm just kind of kicking it around my head right now.
Cool. How'd you first time on Bulgarian soil?
I wonder what happened to police brutality.
Whoa. Don't touch me. Please don't. I don't consent to no search and seizures. I'm in public place. I don't whoa.
Relax.
Whoa. Because you coming up here running on me trying to grab me. Don't grab me. Don't touch me.
I'm not trying to grab you. Okay.
See, this is what I often tell you. I don't tell you to resist arrest, but that doesn't mean turn around and just put your hands behind your back and let the pigs grab you.
No search and seizures. I'm in public place.
So they're walking at him. I don't know if I would move my feet. I'm pretty hardcore though.
I don't. Whoa.
Relax.
Whoa. Because you coming up here running on me trying to grab me. Don't grab me. Don't touch me.
I'm not trying to grab you. Okay.
Don't.
ID, you're on self-defense,
Listen.
police property.
You're a cop. De-escalate the situation. That's what you're trained to do, right? That's what you're trained to do. Whoa.
So this is what I'm talking about. You may not be quite as smooth as you think you are when you got a jackboot thug pig like this one in your face.
Whoa. De-escalate. No. De-escalate. I do not consent to any searches or seizures. I haven't broken the law. Stop backing. You're cornering me in a corner.
Listen.
You're putting me in a corner.
Identification.
Please stop. Please stop. I know. Look. You're pushing me into a corner. I don't want you touching me.
Okay. So this is where, you know, you have to have your stick down. And I this is an auditor. I think I know who it is. But the point is you guys have seen it. And, you know, I've had people, I have my stick down that stops them in their tracks. They don't walk at me like that. There's a reason why. Because the moment they step up, I tell them, I'm a constitutional law scholar and I will take you to court in 2 seconds flat. I will sue you in 2 seconds flat. I don't back up like that. I just don't. You guys have never seen me do it. There's no video of me backing up like that. It doesn't exist. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate this guy's efforts. I most certainly do. But as soon as you start backing up,
Whoa, de-escalate. No, de-escalate. I do not consent to any searches or seizures. I haven't broken the law. Stop backing. You're cornering me in a corner.
So how do you stop them? They're walking at you and they're saying, you're in a corner. What do you say to them? What do you say? Right now, put it in the comment section. What do you say? That cop is coming at you the way he's coming. And what is your response? What's your response to him?
Okay, don't listen. You're a cop. De-escalate the situation. That's what you're trained to do, right? That's what you're trained to do. Whoa, de-escalate. De-escalate. I do not consent to any searches or seizures. I haven't broken the law. Stop backing. You're cornering me in a corner. Listen, you're putting me in a corner.
They look like such jackboot thug pigs, don't they? Put it in the comment section, JBTP. But what are they? What?
Identification. Please stop. Please stop. I know. Look, you're pushing me into a corner.
Okay. So let me tell you, I didn't get a chance to read any of the comments. I'm not sure what anybody said. I didn't get a chance to look. It's on your Fifth Amendment cop card what you say. I don't care if you're a famous auditor like this guy or if you're John Paul and Mary. I don't care. It's on your Fifth Amendment cop card. When the cops come at you, you have to have a stick. You've heard me say this. So what's your stick? It's on your Fifth Amendment cop card. He's not driving. He's in the back parking lot. Cops went up. You start filming. You say, I invoke my First Amendment right. Turner versus Driver, 2017. That's what I'm saying. That's my stick. Then the cops run up to me and I say, cop approaches and says any words at all while filming. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Now I don't have to move and I can just stand there. There's no reason to detain me with my camera. Your stick are your rights. You state them out loud so that you go around the clearly established prong so that the federal judge says, well, you never invoked your privileges. You never said you were being a First Amendment. He never says, and if you listen to what the auditor says, he never invokes his privilege of being a First Amendment member of the press. He just starts backing up. He just starts backing up. Watch. He never says, I'm a member of the press. You don't put your hands on me.
Don't touch me. Please don't. I don't consent to no search and seizures. I'm in public place. I don't. Whoa.
Relax.
Whoa.
Because that is not, I invoke my First Amendment right to be the press. Huge difference, right? Huge difference. Ready for this? Ready? I'm going to interrupt the cop. Listen carefully.
Okay. Hey, whoa.
You're a police officer. I'm a member of the press. I invoke my First Amendment right. You're being filmed.
Wait. Don't touch.
I'm going to tell you again, officer. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. That's how you handle it. You invoke your rights. That's your stick.
Please don't. I don't consent to no search and seizures. I'm in public place.
No, I am not in a public place. No, I invoke my First Amendment right to be the press. I will be filming this interaction and this back parking lot. Announce what you're doing. Announce your intentions. You're not answering any questions. Take control of the scene so you're not backing up.
Whoa. Because you coming up here running on me trying to grab me. Don't grab me.
Right. I don't consent to searches and seizures. I invoke my Fourth Amendment right. I'm involved in a First Amendment press activity.
Don't touch me.
I'm not trying to grab you. Okay, you
Don't
have ID. You're on self
listen.
police property.
You're a cop. De-escalate the situation. That's what you're trained to do, right?
He's still telling them what to do instead of saying, I'm here as a member of the press. I have every right to be here. Do you see the difference? He's having a back and forth. I'm telling him what my right.
Grab me. Don't grab me. Don't touch me.
I'm not trying to grab
I invoke my Fourth Amendment right not to be seized, as I'm using my First Amendment right to be press.
Okay, you
Don't
have ID. You're on self
listen.
police property.
You're a cop.
Do I have ID? According to Nevada versus Hibble 2004, I don't have to give ID unless there's probable cause. It's on my Fifth Amendment cop card right here.
Escalate the situation. That's what you're trained to do, right? That's what you're trained to do. Whoa, whoa.
I have every right to be here as a member of the press. You're being filmed. A new guy gets the same exact treatment as the first. I invoke my First Amendment right to be press. You're being filmed. You just repeat. You told the first guy you're a member of the press. You're going to tell the second guy too.
De-escalate.
No.
De-escalate. I do not.
De-escalate. De-escalate. You're now engaged with a member of the press. I'm doing a First Amendment protected activity. I have every right to be here.
I do not consent to any searches or seizures. I haven't broken the law.
No, you need to relax and respect my rights. Stop closing in on me. Back away from me.
Oh, stop backing. You're cornering me
He's still retreating instead of standing on his rights.
in a corner.
Listen.
You're putting me in a corner.
Identification.
No, you're putting yourself in a corner. You say, I will not be moving my feet. I'm engaged in a First Amendment protected activity. Do not infringe on my Fourth Amendment right of seizure.
Camera, buddy.
Please stop. Please stop. I know, look. You're pushing me into a corner.
Identification.
I don't want you touching me.
I don't care.
What is your name and badge number?
Do you have identification?
What is your name and badge number? Why are you coming up behind me? Stop. What are you guys doing? I do not feel safe. I do not feel safe.
Still has not invoked his rights or informed them. I'm acting as a member of the press. I invoke my First Amendment right. Do not violate my Fourth Amendment right to seizure. Do not touch me. I do not have to identify myself. He has not stated his rights at all.
We do not feel safe.
I'm not the one running up on you.
Sir.
Still having a back and forth instead of invoking his rights and explaining that he's a member of the press.
What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number, sir? What's your name and badge number? What's your name?
Up on the snow berm? He's ran up on top of the snow berm?
Badge number, sir?
What's your name?
I'm asking you what's your name and badge number. You made contact with me. What is your
He
policy
is up on top of the snow berm.
state here?
Did you hear what they said to you?
Do you have identification?
What is your policy state here? Do you have to
And that pigger's still trying to go up on the snow berm and get him. He's still scared of him.
identify?
Sir, do you have identification? I would like
Can
to
you
know
please
who
stop
are.
coming up on me? Look, you're putting me into a corner. Stop.
There's no corner here.
Stop.
I would like
You're
to
putting me up against the wall, and I don't like it. You need to stop.
No. He did not invoke his rights. You have got to invoke your rights. You got to say your rights out loud. You got to say your rights out loud. You got to say your rights out loud. Fifth Amendment cop card. You use your Fifth Amendment cop card. That's your stick. It's your rights right there. That's how you do it. That's how you roll. That's how you roll. Buy one, get one free right now. It's 9:07 p.m. That means it's 12:07 a.m. the 3rd over there on the East Coast. Buy one, get one free right now. You get a cop card. I'll give you the second one free right now from 9:07 p.m. 9:07 p.m. Buy one, get one free right now. Go to deletelaws.com. I'll give you your second one for free. That way you can give it to a friend. They're only $10. $10. Buy one, get one free right now for the Fifth Amendment cop card.
Look at this.
Whoa, that cop just ran those people over. No way. Oh my God.
Shit.
Blum blum over somebody.
Oh my God! What? Holy fuck! Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Fuck! What? Holy shit! Fuck you, bitch! Holy shit!
Oh my God. Every day I say that they're not going to jaw drop me. Every day I'm saying nothing's going to shock me today. That's what I say. Nothing's going to shock me today. That's what I say. Did you see that? They're running people over. Did you see that? These pigs. They blum blum. I mean, I mean, look at that. Blum blum.
What? Holy fuck! Oh my God!
Look at that shit. The comments on this thread, mildly infuriating. Let's see. Oh, sorry, this post has been removed by the moderator. We already saw it. Oh, and they're saying play stupid games and well, you know the rest. So they're justifying what those pigs did. I hope your thread dies. I hope you garbage moderator. I mean, does anybody know about so there's really almost nothing worse than a Reddit moderator. They really think that they are like the answer to life, being a Reddit moderator. They really feel that way, that they're the Reddit moderators. Buy one, get one free right now from 9:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time until this live stream is over. Buy one, get one free. Well, let's read a few. They said the comments are wacky, so I can't understand the reasoning in situations like these where people deliberately bait cops. Are you guys reading that they baited the cops? Why would anyone think blocking a police cruiser would end up with the cops just quietly giving up and going away? So why wouldn't they just sit in their police cruiser and just wait for the crowd to disperse? A lot of people in the first world are completely accustomed to violence being a thing on screens that doesn't really exist in real life. It just doesn't register as an option or a possibility until it suddenly does. It's not just violence. It's a lot of stuff like anything really awful. So it's going to be a bunch of bootlicking. It's just going to be a bunch of bootlicking. I'm not going to be able to handle it. I prefer meat bag. It's almost like regardless if he was a cop or a regular person, if he feared for his life in this situation and it was justified. 100% justified. Imagine if you're alone and blocked and threatened by these idiots. Wow, this is a lot of bootlicking. The cop wasn't threatened. He was in a vehicle and armed with his buddies on the way. Don't make excuses for a psychopath. No wonder why the thread's been taken down. That was straight up attempted mass murder, no matter how anyone spins it. No, it's not, you effing psycho. Running people over who are in your way is not justified. Oh, this guy got hammered because of dumb Fs like you. He got hammered. I'm glad the cops did this and hope they don't get any consequences for it. Wow. This thread. Oh, it's so true. This entire thread is just bootlicking. This whole thread is just bootlicking. So true. What would you do if you're surrounded was your vehicle? Well, you in there with guns. No one's coming after you, bro. No one's going after you. They were just pushing on your car and they were hazing you is what was happening. They weren't just blocking the way. Many were mobbing and attacking the police cruiser, trying to break the windows to get in. That cop also found himself in a threatening situation. He had every right to do what he can. Oh my God. Wow. These comments. Anything illegal attracts these crowds. Wow. Cop needed through win-win. Wow. These people. Wow. I mean, cop, hey, move, sirens on. Everyone. Beep, 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 sirens moving. Everyone. Cop runs everyone over. Oh my God, he ran over and everyone. Edit. Wow. So this guy actually probably got a lot of pushback. People in the comments below seem to think I think it's okay to run over a mob of people that are surrounded your car. Well, you are all absolutely right. Yes, they all deserve to get ran over. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. So if in an emergency, create another emergency. I'm rarely on the side of the police, but I have zero sympathy. Wow. Pretty horrific. These comments are pretty horrific. Yeah, I'm not a bootlicker and actively ridicule the thin blue line people I see, but this shit's exactly why we need police. Wow. You are a bootlicker. You are a bootlicker. Justice served. These people know what they're doing. I'm sick of this farming shit. No one's getting enough views to be an influencer. No real influencer would be caught dead in that crap. Social media has reached a black mirror point at this level. People need to put their phones down. It'll get to the point where we are government will start controlling locations. You can pull your phone out and use it when you're in whatever. So it's all bootlickers. It's all bootlickers. The whole thread's full of bootlickers. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer. That's you guys want to have a good time, go to my Instagram account. Go to deletelaws.ig. You want to see it? My Instagram account's kind of blowing up with a lot of people watching it. But you really want to have a good time? Let me see if I can switch accounts here. I'm going to switch over to my deletelaws.ig account. I'm trying to switch accounts. Oh, I can just go to the account. That'll be better. Then I'll just share the page with you guys. I don't know how to use the computer. There it is. deletelaws.ig. All right. So I've got some videos on here that have gone pretty viral, 1 million views on a couple of them, whatever. And Instagram is just full of bootlickers. I'm growing pretty well on Instagram, I suppose. And if you go to Reels, you'll see that video I put up this morning's got 250,000 views. And then as I go down these, and you can see them, and when you go into any of the comments, like this one where I had this back and forth with this pig, it's there's some support in here, but man, I'm maybe what lawsuits have you won? Really interested to find out how many times cops have crossed the line and you sued them. He says the guy would be no match for him, but the cop says, I'll see you when I get off. He'd 100% sue the department. I mean, like, I'm fighting the cop about a DUI checkpoint, and this guy's bootlicking. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just really insane. And there's so many of them. There's so many bootlickers on this. This one's got 90,000, so this will have a lot of comments, and it's mostly bootlicking. If you guys want to go here, let me send you the link for this. If you guys want to, oh shoot, you guys can't see what I see. I'm so sorry. So there's so many. There's the link to the Instagram. Subscribe to that Instagram page. It's some weird American thing to annoy the police. Like, yeah, bro, you can do that, but you're being a flog. But being a flog, you're the same social justice warrior complaining about your rights being broken because you can't touch a table. Get a grip. And this is why so many innocent Americans get killed by police, because of me. Because I'm the one killing people. It's just so unbelievable. Being rude to police officers. Guy couldn't do this to the cops in the South, would be another missing person. No, I do it all the time to cops in the South. This is finally someone for some support. Cops are the mafia. Thank God. As a private citizen, I despise people like this guy. They despise me, huh? So weird. There's so many. I'm old enough to remember when LAPD would have taken these guys to Mulholland Falls. What does that mean? What does that mean exactly? Old enough to remember when they just killed people that they didn't like? But this is on my Instagram page. I'll drop a link down in the comments. If you guys want to fight cops, there's so many cops in that comment section to fight. There's so many pigs. There's so many pigs. Every time I do like a buy one, get one free, I feel like I need to stay on here longer to make sure that I give everybody a chance to get in on it. Otherwise, then I end up giving away a bunch of free ones to people. That's what you have to do, though. Sent off a lot of stuff today. Sent off a lot of things to a lot of people. So I hope you guys like it. Sent off a ton of stuff, Yeah, there's so many haters in it's mostly cops. It's mostly cops on Instagram. Because Instagram's like this thing where the cops can post memes. If you ever go to a cops page, it'll be mostly memes. It'll be mostly memes. So that's how you know it's a cops page. But like even on some of these, like on this one here, this is where I caught a cop giving people tickets. And you still just have massive amounts of bootlickers in here. I retired after 24 years. Follow the law. You need a job, Chille. I literally was warning people.
The cops are good. No, they're all the same. You got a cop down here giving people tickets. They changed the flow of traffic, and now he's giving them tickets. This is why people hate cops. You said you love cops? I do. Did he just entrap you and give you a ticket? He did. This particular one entrapped you, but the cops are good. No, they're all the same.
Most are.
They're all the same.
Did you see that?
This guy is the same garbage man as the rest of them. He's just as big of a piece of trash as every other cop. This guy right here. See, no. Now you're going to give this guy a ticket too? Why don't you put a sign there? He's going to give you a ticket. He's going to give you a ticket. This is now a one-way street. This is the reason why people hate cops. And now he's just sitting here waiting to get more people. Can I get your name and badge number, sir? Is it Scumbag 405?
Right now, I'm in the middle of a traffic stop, so I'll answer any questions you have as soon as I
You set them up for a traffic stop, you scumbag. You got a cop down here giving people tickets. They changed the flow of traffic, and now he's giving them tickets. This is why people hate cops. You said you love cops? I do. Did he just entrap you and give you a ticket? He did. This particular one entrapped you.
Wow. But even on here where I showed that the cops were entrapping people, all throughout the comments, it's about call a crackhead, not all cops are bad. People understand the gang dynamics. All cops are members of a terrorist. There's a good one finally. Crazy people getting mad at cops for doing their job, for entrapping people. when it's so painfully obvious that it's about generating revenue. Thank God for Dixie. Thanks for coming in, Dixie. Did some cop bone your girlfriend? Look at the guy's image. And when you look at the trolls, more people hate you than hate cops, my bro. I don't think so, dude. I really don't think so. I really don't think so. This is the reason why people hate cops. First person he asks says they love cops. Whoa, that is gross. That is gross. He's doing a job unlike you. But that's the whole point, is that we have an entire country full of these bootlickers who were raised on Law and Order and chips, and raised that the cops are the good guys, and they're not. They're just not. I mean, if cops were the good guys, then I wouldn't be sitting here right now, would I? Think about it. If cops were the good guys, I wouldn't be in this chair right now. I'd be doing something else with my life completely. Think about it. The cops created the person I am by their policies, procedures, and protocols, and by the way they've treated me. If cops were good guys, then I wouldn't be an influencer in the space of social justice against police brutality. I wouldn't be a constitutional law scholar if cops were the good guys. If cops were good, you and I wouldn't know each other. If cops were good, most of you wouldn't be in this room. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been wronged by the police. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been abused by the police. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a court date coming up. Put a 1 in the chat if you've had to deal with court where cops have charged you with crimes. If cops were the good people, I wouldn't be here right now. I would probably be on a beach somewhere, on a tropical island, a couple kids, a little squaw. You know what I'm saying? All we do is pick fruit from the vine, eat it. We are all here because cops are not the good guys. This particular cop, he's entrapping me. The other cops are backing up what he's doing. There's no good cop coming in and saying, hey, Chris, what are you doing, dude? They just changed the road. Stand here and just let them know this is no longer a one-way street, that they got to go this way now. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. I wouldn't be here if the cops were good guys. I wouldn't be here. Which, oh, by the way, now I'm a little bit bummed out that the first batch of sweatshirts, hoodies that I sent out, they didn't get the cop cards inside of them. But now, for y'all who order hoodies from me, you got to check inside the pocket of the sweatshirt, because you might find a trifold and a Fifth Amendment cop card inside of that hoodie. Now, I wish that had happened from the very first hoodie being sent out, but I had not explained my position to my assistant, the things that I was hoping that would be accomplished. So, yeah, all people who get a hoodie, you might also be getting a trifold and a cop card in that hoodie. And the hoodies are badass. They say we don't stop. I got XL, double XL, and triple XL left in stock. I got XL, double XL, and triple XL in stock. We don't stop. On the front and on the back, it says Team DLZ. I cannot confirm or deny that you'll be getting a free trifold and free cop cards with your hoodie, but that's the rumor. That's the rumor. And I think that April is going to find that out. I think April got a hoodie. I think I packed that hoodie full of goodies. April. What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy? Only XL, double XL, and triple XL left in stock. Don't be fooled by the website. There's no more larges or mediums left. There's only XL, double XL, and triple XL in the hoodie left. Yep. And I definitely do put in a free trifold and a free cop card with that. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way. I like it. Squat and cough. Turn around, squat and cough. That's the whole thing. All right, listen, I'm working on something. I had to move, and there's things I had to do, so I got to keep doing a few more things. I got to get the flock out of Dodge. But I'll do the buy one, get one free on the cop card until midnight tonight. So that's 2 more hours. So if you want to get a cop card, I'll give you the next pair for free between 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and midnight. Buy one, get one free on the Fifth Amendment cop card, driver and non-driver. You get 2 cards. So that means if you buy one, you actually get 2 sets of cards in the mail. Yeah. $10 for 2, driver and non-driver. Oh, those both say non-driver. There you go. Driver and non-driver. And when these are out, the next ones will be yellow and pink. That's my stomach. That's my stomach growling. I'm hungry. That's why I'm getting the flock out of here right now. I got to eat something, or I'd sit here and rap with you guys for another 2 hours. I know it. You guys, are you guys getting over and watching American Patriot? American Patriot's doing pretty good. Let me see what's going on American Patriot. I'll give you guys the numbers on American Patriot. Let's take a look at the analytics real quick, and then I'll get the flock out of here. Not too bad. 150,000 views in 6.2 thousand watch hours. Not bad. Not too bad. I'll take a screenshot of this and I'll show it to you guys. Here is the analytics. 3,400 subscribers, and this is on the backup channel, or I'm on the new channel called American Patriot. I will show you guys this. Here's the link to American Patriot. There it is when the day comes. But this is the link to the new series that I put out. If you guys have not seen my new series yet, please get over there and subscribe to that new channel called American Patriot. That's my journey through the Midwest and the upper Northeast last year, 2022. All right, I will get the flock out of here. Sorry for taking up your dragging your time here the last 5 minutes. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope that a teacher's history of the United States, I hope he gets a bump on this and people go subscribe to his channel. Looking forward to seeing if he gets a result. And love you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Chevy, Ms. Raines, Bishop, what's going on? Mr. Bones. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, Gators.